This week, I'm joined by British Olympic curler Scott Andrews. He attended Prestwick Academy and went on to train and compete at the World Junior Curling Championships, winning a silver medal. He then competed in the Scottish Championships, Scottish Mixed Doubles Championships, and the Winter Olympics, where Scott and his team won silver in Russia 2014. He continues to compete and he has just accepted a role in development management of South West of Scotland. Welcome, Scott. Thanks for taking part.
Thank you very much for having me. And I have
There
a shiny
you
medal
go.
here.
Wow. It's heavier than what you would expect, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's about 5 grams, I believe, which doesn't sound a lot, but when it gets put around your neck, it's definitely heavy.
Absolutely. And whenever you go, are you asked to take it? Are you always thinking, oh, I need to take this? It's because they'll ask.
No, I always want to take it because you want to show it off.
It's just in the car.
Yeah, most people always say to me, why is it in a box rather than round your neck? But yeah, it just
It'd be
lives
really
in a
hard to go
drawer.
around about your day wearing it every day, I would say.
It would be a good gym exercise, just work those neck muscles.
Neck muscles. Yeah, absolutely. So we met while at school through the music and Airship Red Orchestra, which is a big part of both of our lives throughout school. We travelled alongside other young people to places including the US and China, and it was a very exciting time. I know you travelled a good few places before I arrived.
I was in the orchestra for, how many years? And a lot, 12 maybe. I got to China, America, Australia. And the opportunities that the orchestra brought us were unreal. Socially, you meet so many people, and as you said, get to travel the world. And luckily for me, I've been able to travel the world with curling as well. So
yeah, so you get friends everywhere.
I have a lot of friends across the world, which is really nice, and it's a great thing that curling and both the orchestra and curling have given me, that meet people. And yeah, we've kept in touch, and it's great during this time that we have some friends that we can reach out to. Yeah.
So do you remember what your first idea of a dream job was at that time?
Nope.
You're busy.
Yeah, I don't think I ever knew what I wanted to do in life, whether it be sport or music. I loved them both. And I think even to this day, I still don't really know the career path I want to take. And I think, like, I left school, didn't go to university, worked in a hotel for about 3 years, and that allowed me to then take curling a bit more seriously. And then I've been a full-time athlete for the last 10 years, and now into a new post with Scottish Curling as development manager. So I'm still in the sporting role, and where that takes me, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you remember when you actually thought curling could be a career for me? Was that right from the start? It was always an option, or did that come later?
Well, I started curling when I was 7 or 8, so I don't think it was ever an option then. But I remember watching Rona Martin win her gold medal in 2002 at Salt Lake, and from then I was like, yeah, I really want to do that. And it was probably about 2008 I won my first junior title, and then thought, oh, actually I'm quite good. And then from I left juniors at, you turn 21 and then you into men's, and so that was 2010, and I joined a team with the prospect of getting to the 2018 Olympics, but we actually performed really well and we did better than expected, and we actually got to the 2014 Olympics. So yeah, it came a lot quicker than I was expecting.
Yeah, were you the youngest on that team as well?
I was, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think for about nearly my whole curling career, I've been the youngest in my team.
That's amazing. What surprised you most about the Olympic Village?
Oh, it was just the size of it. Walking into that, the dinner hall, and it was about 5 football pitches worth of just like food. And you think you've seen everything, so you sit down with your meal, and then your teammate comes back and they've got something else. Where did you get that? So the whole week was spent kind of finding new things.
I'm sure.
And also just how, like, I got to sit across from Cindy Crosby, who's a huge hockey player from Canada. And, you know, it's just unreal. Like, just all the athletes just come together. It didn't matter what sport you were from. We just sat and chatted. And, yeah, it was just a really great experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, it must have been so exhilarating and so inspirational to meet all these people and hear all their stories just over a meal as well. Yeah, you must have been constantly saying...
like, I got to sit next to like Sir Steve Redgrave and Sebastian Coe, and what really shocked me was they were more interested in me because I was the athlete at that time, and I was just kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, guys, you guys are legends. I'm just a curler. So it was really, really strange, but the opportunities that have came from winning the medal have been great. Like the amount of people we've met, and yeah, it's just surreal.
Yeah, it must have been absolutely fantastic. And so, did you have mentors? Who were your mentors at the time when you starting curling?
Yeah, when I first joined the curling club, I was too young to curl actually, because usually we say between 9 and 10 because the curling stones are 20 kilograms, so someone quite young can't really push them. Yeah. But me being me, sporty and stuff like that, I joined in the warm up, and one of my coaches, Graham Boyd, said, "Do you want to come down onto the ice?" And then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh,
so
yeah,
why
okay."
were you there? Was it an older sibling and a cousin?
Yeah, my sister Dawn, she went along to the juniors at Air Ice Rink, so I just joined in the warm up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So Graham was a huge influence to me starting my career, getting me onto the ice and coaching me. And then obviously when Rona Martin won her medal, she then got into coaching as well at the later stage of her career. And she helped me probably when I started 2008 getting my junior titles and stuff. So she was a huge influence there for me as well, because obviously she'd experienced it all.
So is it quite a tight mentorship group within the curling? Do you see the same people quite a lot, and it's quite a supportive sport?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you've got your local coaches, but then once you get into the high performance, it's such a close-knit group. I think there's about 18, 20 athletes who all train together. The coaches are all the same. And yeah, it's just a great group to work with.
Yeah. Now you're part of that training and that support. What do you try and instill in the younger students now?
Yeah, my job is obviously to get more people curling right now, and it could be difficult in this time, but just to have fun. You know, if you can't have fun with a sport that you love, then there's no point in doing it. And I definitely know it is going to be hard, because there's times that I've been away in Canada for 3-4 weeks at a time and you're not winning games, so you put more pressure on yourself. But at the end of the day, it is a sport and you have to enjoy what you do, and you win some games, you lose some games, but as long as you enjoy it, that's the main thing.
And that's something to learn as well, that you don't always win at everything, and you've got to be there and present and positive and
I'm still trying to learn that.
Yeah, work in progress.
Yeah. It's been 22 years of curling, but you know, I'll get there someday.
22 years, wow, goodness me.
Yeah, showing my age now.
And do you still enjoy it? Do you still look forward to going and playing?
Yeah, you know, it's sometimes it can be tough, because obviously the high performance, you need results and the medals and stuff like that. There's a lot of pressure on that for funding, but yeah, you step onto the ice and you just have to enjoy it. That is the main thing. And as I say, there is sometimes I do, there's sometimes I hate it, and I think about hanging up the shoes and stuff like that. So a lot of rough times, but a lot of good times.
Yeah, and it shows that it's a passion, and it's what makes you happy and what makes you your life fulfilled, and that's why you continue going on, and that's what's important about a career, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's probably time now for me to give back to the sport as well. Like, I've had so much out of it. So in my new role, I'm going to help all the ice rinks in the southwest of Scotland to kind of develop and bring out new Olympic medalists. I've got hopes that one day we'll get more medals.
Absolutely. So you say southwest of Scotland. Where's the most northern rink and where's the most southern rink?
So the most southern rink would be Dumfries, Lockerbie,
Wow.
Stranraer area. And then the most north would be Murray, which is near Elgin.
Wow.
In Inverness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 22 ice rinks in Scotland right now. Actually, Braehead's just closing, so there's going to be 21 ice rinks, but hopefully we'll get a new ice rink somewhere in Glasgow to accommodate those curlers. But yeah, so it's a small sport, but one that we're very good at.
Yes, and one that there's opportunities in. I think hopefully there will be an ice rink relatively close to anyone in Scotland who wants to give it a go.
Yeah, well, in Ayrshire, there's you can probably get to about 10 of the ice rinks within an hour's drive.
Wow.
So that's pretty close. And when you think about, like, I'm friends with a lot of people in Sweden and they drive like 2 hours to the ice rink. So we're very lucky that we have so many so close.
Yes. And so many people who have done really well and coming back to want to instill that into the younger people. If it's an inspirational thing for you to be standing beside somebody who's 10 or 12 or 15, training them. You've got real life experience and a lot to give back. So that's fantastic to be part of that.
Yeah, I still don't see myself as one of those people because like I'm still like, I'll meet Chris Hoy and I'm like, oh, it's Chris Hoy, wow, he's done so much. And then I'm like, well, I also have an Olympic medal, but it doesn't feel the same when it's you, it's weird.
Yeah, I think that's definitely your personality as well. You're definitely pretty much quite happy to talk to anyone and be part of the team and not be standing on the stage all the time.
Yeah, and those skills probably come from like throughout the orchestra and throughout curling, like the people you meet, you have to go out there and speak to people. And yeah, I've just always been outgoing and wanted to meet new people and learn from them. And yeah, as I say, I've got friends all across the world, which is brilliant to say that you have.
Yeah. So what's been your like highlight or memorable moment that you never expected to have in your career? If you think of one, I'm sure there's many.
It's probably like standing in that podium and receiving the medal. It was always a dream to get there. And then it became a reality that you were at the Olympics, and then to stand in that podium, it's still a surreal moment. And I just look at the medal here, I'll pick it up again, but yeah, it's just so special and one that I can only wish for so many people in life.
Absolutely. And it was quite a quick turnaround. Like, what did it feel like after actually realizing you'd won the game, walking off the ice, and then what happens next?
Yeah, so we beat Sweden in the semi-final, and that was kind of our winning the silver medal. So it was a really hard one because we lost the final for the gold. But yeah, so after we get our medals and stuff like that, there's a lot of media, a lot of press conferences, radio calls back home and stuff like that. And then once we got home, we were up and down to London like 3 or 4 times within the week, just doing TV appearances. We featured on Eggheads. We did not do very well. What
did you say when you had that call? You're going on to Eggheads.
Oh, great. We're like, yes, let's go and get some money.
Obviously, lockdown has made everything a lot more difficult. But once we're a bit more able to move around, what would you advise young people hoping to get into sport to do next?
I would get them to come curling. No, I think they have to just go out and try new sports. Like, I know when I was younger, I did all the sports, and I was lucky enough that my parents supported me through that. And gave me the opportunity to go swimming one week, to then go horse riding the next week, to then play football, to then play tennis, and then eventually I got to curling, and just enjoy it. Just I keep going back to that, but enjoyment's everything.
Yeah. And there's so many sports in Ayrshire that's really fostered. I think we've got loads of good opportunities round about our way for a lot of sports. So just going out and finding them and asking people.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm very approachable, so if you ever see me, just say hi. But no, like it's reaching out to people, and if you're unsure about if you'd like to try it, or a lot of sports do offer like free sessions to come and trial, and like I know curling definitely offer that. So just go around and try lots of them and find out what you love.
Yeah, that's such good advice. Absolutely, just try everything and have a go. There's nothing lost, and if anything, you've just met new people and who are passionate about a different sport that you've not tried before, and have a go at it and see if it's for you.
Yeah, I don't think it just relates to sport as well. Like if you take it back in the orchestra, I started as playing the violin.
That's right. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah, I think I can still play Dash and White Sergeant, but apart from that, I don't think I've got much else. But yeah, so then I wanted to try the drums, and I preferred the drums, so I made the switch. And yeah, for me, that was the best move.
Yeah. So how has lockdown changed your working day and what you do each day?
Yeah, well, obviously, I actually started my new role in lockdown. So it's been a lot of virtual meetings and calls and stuff. And at this time, I'd be wanting to get out to the ice rinks that I'd be working with and meeting people and planning for next year. And obviously, excuse me, with the curling season, we don't know when we're going to reopen. So right now we're in the off season anyway, so it is a quieter time. So it's probably came at a good time for curling, but the uncertainty of when we open is kind of what's holding us back a little bit, and what social distancing will look like for indoor sports, how many people can we get on the ice at a time and stuff like that. So there's a lot of planning through that, but yeah, I'm spending a lot of time looking at a computer screen, and I'm not used to that.
No, not at all. So if young people want to start curling, you don't need any kit or anything. Come to you and what?
Yeah, so go on to, I think it's trycurling.com, and you can find your local rink. So in Ayrshire, we've got Ayr, we've got Auchenharvey's, and we have the Galleon. And Stranraer is not that far away from Girvan, so a lot of clubs run try curling sessions, and all you need to bring is warm clothing and a clean pair of trainers, so we don't get dirt on the ice. But most ice rinks provide the rest of stones. That's one question I always get asked: do you take your own curling stones? And my answer is we only get one piece of luggage when we're traveling, so. That would be my luggage, because they're 20 kilograms each. So, so no, like all the ice rinks provide all the equipment, and just turn up, and a lot of sessions are a lot of fun. So, yeah, it's definitely. I never thought I would be a curler when I was 5, 6, 7, and then 16 years later I got an Olympic medal. So, a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. It'll be fantastic to teach and to be in Ayr Ice Rink as well, because that's where you started.
Yep, so I started Ayr Ice Rink, Ayr Juniors, when I was 7 or 8, and yeah, it's my home club. There's nothing better than being in your home club and seeing all the curlers that were there 20 years ago when I started, and yeah, it's just lovely to be part of. But I'm also working with 6 other ice rinks as well to help them develop. So.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. So have you been on the ice at all?
Nope.
This will be the longest time you've been off the ice since you were probably 7.
Probably, yeah.
Wow.
Because we stopped curling about the 16th of March. We were the week before lockdown. We stopped. and yeah, I won't be back on the ice until whenever we open, September, October. But
thank you for taking part in this. It's been amazing to speak to you again at this length and hear your news and hear what you're trying to achieve with the development management role. And I think it's inspirational that you're going back to where you started and trying to get everyone excited about curling again. Or still excited about curling and get young people into sport and into successful options for them.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's been a great catch up and lovely to see you again. It's been a while.
It's been a while, but it's been good to hear that you're succeeding, because obviously we've seen you on TV and different things, so that's really exciting and good to hear you've not changed at all.